It's VB MMA picks for UFC 273. Oliveira and Gaethje with the man himself, VB. I'm Ramon Scott. VB, we got a big card. The matchup of lightweights, champion against number one contender, and a very nice fight card. Ready for a great Saturday for me, but also everyone's so fired up about the damage you did on last week's card, VB. Let's review what happened last week. Another great card.
For sure. It was a great card, and we did the show with Grayson with one of my guys, and we went 3-0. We cashed plus 170 underdog winner. Shana Young. We cashed plus 130 Marlon Vera in the main event, and we also hit Chaco at minus 150. So we went 3-0 last week. If you listened, you know what's up. And this week we are looking to do the same. Let's sweep again. And I saw you fixed your it's UFC 274. So 273 was last one. This one is 274 Oliveira Gaethje with great fights so far, 15 fights, and I bet a lot of them, but we're gonna share a few of them here. And
Yeah,
we
we are.
only
We're gonna take a look at three fights on the card. Sorry for the typo, VB. You got so much. You got cards with me every week. I have trouble keeping up. That's why I have to catch up with you to get all the lowdown. But look what Sean said. Let's go. It's a big weekend ahead. And again, we're going to take a look at that main event at the end of this. We're going to look at three fights. VB. Let's just start it off, shall we? And we can talk as we go along. Let's kick this one off with fly, flyweights Royval and Schnell. Royval, the 29-year-old from Denver, he's 13-6, 3-2 in the UFC. Last defeated Bonnerin by split decision in January to break a two-fight skid. He's going up against Schnell, uh, 32 years old, Mississippi, fighting out of Louisiana, 15-5, 5-2 in the UFC with a no decision. VB, and that's probably what we'll talk about a little bit because that fight was also against Bonnerin, a fight in which he lost a unanimous decision a year ago. So what's going on with these guys, and what's going on with Schnell, and the fact that they have a common opponent in their last fight?
Yeah, they do. And Royval actually beat Bantarin in a close fight, and Schnell got dropped by Bantarin a few times and lost 27. But then Bantarin tested something for I don't know what it was. I don't know some kind of you know USADA problem.
Diuretic, steroid, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's my point. So I don't know what happened there, but something happened. But that as a fight goes, I think Royval is a guy I bet the last time, and he won by split decision, which was actually my first max bet of 2022, and that was my first win, Royval by split. Since then, I won like seven in a row with all of them finishes, but the first one was this Royval, my max bet. It was in January, I think. Yeah, so he did well. I think he should have been unanimous, but with the judges, you never know. Like last week, I got robbed big time with Collier and Arlovsky. That was just crazy decision. Like, I mean, Arlovsky lost all rounds and somehow won. I don't know how, but whatever. I still did so well that I can't even be mad. But it's just I don't want to see MMA, and boxing one day. Some crazy shit. I mean, we don't need that. So yeah, this fight is pretty good. I think this fight can easily be fight of the night. Both of these guys are finishers. Like Machinel, I think is like 80% finish rate. Royval same. So someone's getting knocked out here, and most likely it's gonna be Schnell. Like Machinel has no chin, to be honest. He gets dropped by wrestlers. and he I mean, his endurance is a problem. You know, his power is not bad, but he never really knocks anybody out with one punch, you know, or something like that. And I'm not really afraid of Royval getting knocked out, you know, to be honest. If Schnell wins, it's gonna be submission, and Royval can win by submission, KO, TKO, maybe even from the ground strikes, you know, or in many ways. So Brandon Royval is not gonna lose to this guy, in my opinion. He won his last fight. He snapped the skid, you know. Now he wants to win one more. He don't want to snap a skid and lose again, you know. So Schnell is the kind of guy he can actually beat. He's a great stylistic fight, you know. So this fight is gonna be insane. Even Dana White mentioned it, you know. If you don't know, now you know kind of videos he does. So he mentioned this one's gonna be crazy. So I'm going with Bernard Royval big time, you know, and I'm going with the fight doesn't go to this. You know, that's your two picks right there, you know, Royval and you know the props. So you know what to do now. So that kind of means I'm leaning Royval by finish here, but I bet Royval money line separately and this prop separately. You know, just the way I did it. So that's the first pick of the week, you know, for us. But again, Royval is just better fighter overall. He's faster. He has a win over Kai Kara France, who's been looking real good lately. You know, he may be fighting for a title soon. He choked out Kai Kara in the second round and dropped him, and so Brandon Royval is very talented fighter. He only lost to Pantoja and Moreno, so those losses are, I mean, you know, no shame at all. But Schnell is losing to lower level, you know, guys, and he is kind of very questionable endurance. So if he gets tired here or gets hit clean, he's gonna be in trouble, you know. And Royval does all kinds of crazy stuff, spinning, all kinds of spinning stuff, you know, which can easily knock Schnell out any moment. So that's my pick, Royval, and the 2 point half under you can maybe take if you don't have the, you know, doesn't go to the distance prop. For some people ask me like, you know, if you don't have the prop, you can take 2 point half under, maybe in better odds as well. So you know, that's my pick here.
Yeah, not only is it your pick, VB, it's a one of your 5 unit plays. So thank you very much for giving that out on the free show where you can get in. And again, you beat this line again that doesn't go the distance has gone up, and that's why you got to get VB's plays early. We'll show you how to do that in a few moments, but uh, that's the betting strategy that you've employed in this fight. So I think that's important to note. You did mention, there could be a little bit of variable as far as what you choose, but again, you might want to adhere to VB's exact strategy again. But you said you don't mind necessarily if they go off the card a little bit and kind of combine those two plays into what they need, especially if their book is limited. So appreciate that, VB. All right, let's move on to the next one then and take a look at OSP. Is going to take on Rua. VB, they call it a rematch. These guys fought way back in 2014. Remember OSP? Do you remember VB? OSP knocked him out in 30 seconds. Of course, OSP, the 39-year-old from Florida, Haitian descent. He's out of Knoxville right now. 25 and 16, 13 and 11 in the UFC. Last lost to Bozer in June. He's lost 2 straight now and 5 out of 7, but he's still OSP, and he's going up against Rua, the 40-year-old Brazilian, 27 and 2, 11, 10 and 1 in the UFC, and he's coming up a loss to Craig in November by TKO. VB, that fight was 7.5 years ago. Do you remember it?
I do, and I have no idea. I have no idea how that happened. The fight was crazy. OSP went there and slipped, and then my bad, Rua slipped. You know, Shogun slipped, and OSP knocked him out. You know, that was crazy fight. It was like so short. OSP, I think, kind of has advantage in this fight again. I mean, if he doesn't knock him out in the first round. Even his gas tank overall game is better right now than Shogun's. I'm not saying Shogun was not a legend. He's a former champion. You know, let's not take anything away from him. But when you tap two strikes, when you tap two strikes to Paul Craig, you have a problem. Okay, I'm not saying Paul Craig is bad in any way, but he's not gonna be champion in my opinion ever. So when you are tapping like that, it's just for me a really really bad look. And his last win was against like 47-year-old Nogueira by split decision. You know, so like he can't even beat like 47-year-old guys cleanly. I think he lost to be honest. And then he tapped two strikes to Paul Craig, which was my max bet because I knew who I was done. And now I know he's done even more. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take OSP and I'm gonna put him in two parlays. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not gonna share the second parlay pieces, but for this fight, my pick is gonna be Owens, and I think he's gonna finish him again. And it's very, very, very likely that it's gonna be ugly in there. You know, it's very likely that Rua looks worse than ever, and he never fights in the UFC ever again because at those the damage he took and all those wars, and then when we saw him tap to strikes, Shogun would never tap to strike to tap to anything. Back then. You know what I mean? So this guy was a warrior, and now he can't even beat Nogueira at 47. You know, so I mean, it's just for me, it's OSP. He gets the win, in my opinion. He gets the finish, most likely as well. I'm not gonna bet the finish line prop because even Owens is kind of getting older himself. But at this point, just Shogun is just done. He shouldn't be in the cage, and there is a chance he won't get cleared this week. But I hope not. You know, and I'm talking like he's like 60 years old, but he actually is really really just at this point just over the hill. So if you're betting Shogun, you are you're gonna be disappointed in my opinion. He's gonna get destroyed. He's gonna get taken down. He has no power anymore. He has no speed. Nothing like he was back then. So OSP is gonna destroy this guy, and it's gonna be, in my opinion, ugly. I think UFC is making a mistake. Giving Shogun fight, but that's just me. We'll see.
Well, maybe he's still got a little bit of a name, but again, we talked about that fight back in 2014, and Rua's only really basically fighting once a year since then. He's not a two-fight-a-year guy. So uh, there's the pick, OSP, and to get the other end of the two-legged parlays, you're going to have to get VB's fight card for UFC 274, Oliveira versus Gaethje. Contact him on Twitter. VB, tell us how we can get in contact with you and what we need to do. And again, you beat these lines every time. You send out your fight cards usually just a day or two after the previous week's fights. So you get these lines early. Tell us what we need to do to get in touch with you this weekend for the UFC 274 card. 13 plays on the fight card.
So there's my Twitter, and if you see the bio and there is a link or there, and it's Pick City link. You go there and you follow the link. There's a package. There is a one card deal for Saturday. you can always DM me and ask for other payment options, you know. So that's the way you hit me up. It's not the hardest thing to do. And I'm gonna send the card right away. I try to be really, really early with it. I try to make it on Monday, max Tuesday, so people get the best lines for most of the fights. Not always, but most of the fights get better lines. And that's the game we play. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but long term we make money. And I posted PFL for Friday, so for tomorrow. I also posted, if you scroll down, there's a Bellator card as well with Yoel Romero as co-main event. So all of those other MMA shows, MMA events are free, but for UFC, follow my Twitter over there, DM me, and you can always follow the link, which is pixie.com, and that's 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 it for this week. We I'm not gonna talk much. Like last 2 weeks, we made 11 units. We barely missed, like like some controversial split decisions and stuff like that, but overall plus 11 units in you know like 8 days. Why not? So let's keep it going. I want to get a few more wins in a row. Why not? Last year we got 14 weeks in a row without a loss. That's what I'm trying to get. So let's hope this week is gonna be as good as last two.
Well, you can start your week with the Bellator and PFL picks. I know you'll be watching LFA also probably, and you
Right.
can get a little winning started and get your bankroll ready. And look at that, there it is. It says it right there, $15 for VB's card. He doesn't do it for the money, folks. You'll spend more money on your refreshments than you will on UFC
Right.
from VB. Just
And
$15. Yeah.
also it says two max bets. So that's not every week I got two max bets. So
No, and we just gave one of them to you for
exactly
free.
we did. Royval, and another one is a great play as well. And we are just, my max bets are 10-2 in 2022. Okay, 10 wins, 2 losses. One of them split decision loss, which was crazy, but whatever. 10-2 is 10-2. That's like 85 percent win rate. So
Well, I was happy. Everyone was happy. A great week last week. Again, get it started with VB. 19,000 Twitter followers. Can't be wrong. VB MMA picks. Pick up the fight card this weekend. 13 plays on the UFC 274 card. Oliveira versus Gaethje. And we're going to take a look at the main event. Why not, VB? Just give away the main event for free. Why don't you? Oliveira and Gaethje. Oliveira, the champion, the lightweight champion, the 32-year-old from Brazil. He's 20-8 in the UFC with a no decision in there. 32-8 overall. He's on a 10-fight winning streak. VB's coming off the win versus Poirier by choke in December. He's obviously record-setting submission and finisher in the UFC. And he's going up against the number one contender, Justin Gaethje. Out of Arizona. He's fighting out of Colorado now, the great training grounds. 23-3, 5-3 in the UFC. He's coming off that win over Chandler in December by unanimous decision. He's won 5 of his last 6, and his only loss was to Khabib. So, what a fight!
yeah, this fight is unbelievable. These guys are both in their primes, fighting each other at one of the best weight classes in the whole MMA at 155, so lightweight. And this fight is gonna be explosive and it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be big. And we're gonna have a huge night in on Saturday. And this one is just gonna be cherry on top. So um Very, very good fighters. Both of these guys are finishers. Justin Gaethje knocks everybody out. Oliveira most of the time gets submissions. And to be honest, this guy makes black belts look amateurs, like white belts. You know what I mean? Like Dustin Poirier is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he looked like he was like maximum maybe blue belt or something. So this guy, if you have Charles Oliveira on your back, you are in big trouble. Like in big, big trouble. You are in the worst place you can be against this guy. Look what happened to like Dustin Poirier. It took him like 30 seconds to finish him. And last loss for Gaethje was also by sub. He got submitted by Habib. So it's it's um it's a very, very dangerous fight for both guys. Because Oliveira's chin is always has been a problem since few fights. He's been KO'd. So if Gaethje connects clean, there is not a guy he can't knock out. But the point is, Gaethje is white belt on the ground. That's my problem here. And I have I was wrong on Oliveira a few times, right? I had Poirier against him, and I had under in that fight as well. So I went 1-1, but I'm just not gonna fade him again. So this guy in most of them, I mean, look at even against Chandler, he got dropped but came back. So lately he's been showing some heart. So he's getting dropped against Poirier again and coming back and you know winning. So if Gaethje connects clean and this Oliveira guy somehow stays awake, he's gonna find his neck, and he's gonna take it home because Justin Gaethje is not gonna defend anything if he goes to the ground. It's gonna be over before you know it. Again, Poirier black belt, right? If you're doing that to black belt, Justin Gaethje is not the even close to that. So again, he's a white belt on the ground. Justin Gaethje said he doesn't train jiu-jitsu at all. Okay, he said himself like he doesn't train it. He trains takedown defense, but no jiu-jitsu, and he's a striker. So again, Oliveira's chin is always a problem, but lately he's been showing some heart and he's been surviving these knockdowns. So if he survives again and wraps Gaethje up and takes his back, it's gonna be all over, man. That's why the odds are like this. Like look at the odds. Justin Gaethje is plus 150 is a always live dog, of course. But when you look at his ground credentials, he's a white belt on the ground. He's going against maybe the best submission artist ever in UFC. You know, like Oliveira could be the best submission artist ever in UFC. At least he has the most submission wins in UFC. So that says, I mean, he has most wins than more wins than Maya, more wins than Jacare, some other good grapplers. So this guy is dangerous, and he also improved his striking now. Going from flying knees and stuff like that. Man, if this guy reigns, he's gonna be champion for like man, I don't know, like 5 years. Who knows? But he has a tough test. I think this could be the worst matchup for him in the division because again Gage's power is just crazy. If he touches you, he hits like a truck. So Oliveira must be really careful. He doesn't want to get clipped here because if he gets clipped here, he may get knocked out. But the same goes for Gaethje. Even for 1 second you lose focus and you Oliveira is on your back, Gaethje is gonna go to sleep before he knows it. So I'm gonna say this fight is gonna be crazy, as I said, exciting and all that. It's a great fight. Two stats in their primes, fighting each other for the lightweight belt of UFC. Come on, who? I mean, if you're a fan, how can you miss this? Of MMA or even fighting. So This fight is gonna be crazy, and I'm not gonna pick a side here. I'm gonna pick a prop, which is gonna be 2 point half under at minus 130. Most of the books right now have minus 150 maybe, and that's a good bet in my opinion because there's a big chance Oliveira finishes this fight in the first, or even Gaethje knocks him out and clips him early. Even in the second, it can easily be over. So this fight is gonna be great, and I can't wait for it. There's also 14 more fights on this card, so we are getting spoiled this week. PFL, Bellator, now this huge UFC card. We're getting spoiled big time. Especially the main events of on all of them is just too good. So um, I can't wait, and you go bet this 2 point half under because it's gonna be over quick in my opinion. It's 3 4 minutes. I think it's gonna be a wrap. You know, we'll see.
Well, and again, follow VB MMA Picks on Twitter and get in touch with him via DM or at pickcity.com to get his fight card 13 plays on the 14 fight card. And of course, this is a big one, UFC 274. It starts on ESPN Plus and Fight Pass and moves over to ESPN before the pay-per-view main event card, five on that card, including the OSP Rua bout that we talked about and some other good ones. Chandler's on the card, a good main event undercard with Namajunas and Esparza. So get with VB this weekend for this card, UFC 274 Oliveira versus Gaethje, and follow, as I said, VB on Twitter to get his plays also for PFL and Bellator leading up to this UFC card. VB, thank you so much. You got a viewer that says take Oliveira over Gaethje. Thanks to all of our viewers for supporting us. VB, as we keep getting bigger each week, we've got some viewership goals we're meeting, and just such a pleasure to be with you. And I get access to your fight card, so it's easy and fun for me too, brother.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's always fun doing these shows. This guy is not actually wrong. It can easily be Oliveira's easy win here. But again, that's my bet. I'm not. I can't take everyone's opinion. I have 18,000 people telling me something. Who should I listen to? I have my opinion. My opinion is under. So if you want to tell, good luck. If not, good luck anyway. With Oliveira. So I'm really happy we are doing these shows every week with you, and my free card is only, gonna help. Okay, and his stick throw's gonna win. See, so you know these guys. You know what I mean. Good luck, brother. That's all I can say. Thanks everyone who tuned in. Even people who commented, and next week we're gonna have some more breakdowns, more free picks, and let's sweep this week again.
Let's have another big week, VB. We'll be talking about more winning, I'm sure. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll catch you next week on VB MMA Picks. For VB, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.